Hi everyone, we are wrapping up grade 2 this week, focusing on measurement and data and the geometry standards. So for measurement and data, we're going to kind of break away from using non-standard units of length to standard units of length, feet, meters, etc. We're also going to relate addition and subtraction to length, work with time and money, and then represent and interpret data. So some things that are common with manipulatives, things that we can measure, analog and digital clocks, individual whiteboards with markers, measurement tools, concrete manipulatives, number lines, play money, etc. Just wanted to make a quick comment that we're going through these standards pretty quickly, and you have an entire year to cover what we're covering in 2 weeks. So clearly the things that we are covering is just the tip of the iceberg of what you will cover in your own future classroom. However, it gives you an idea of how the manipulatives work, and it starts the wheels turning on some possibilities for things that you can do in your future. But it also gives us an opportunity to see how standards are built from year to year and how they kind of build on each other. So we're going to move away from non-standard units from first grade to identifying and using real measuring tools. And I'm going to jump right in to have you do a couple of experimental things for homework that I know that you can do very well or will do very well on them. So take a moment to watch the story, How Big is a Foot, in the How Big is a Foot discussion board. So the link is there. Then reply to this discussion by answering the following questions listed. And there's a bunch of them. And then number 7, responded to classmates on any one or more of their topics 1 through 6. You may need to scan and upload your work into the discussion board. So remember that the more work you show, the better off you are. It's better to have more so I can follow your thought process and see what you're doing. Since I can't actually observe you working on these things, I rely on seeing all of your thought process using the pictures, the diagrams, and words so that I know that you understand what we're accomplishing. The second part of your homework assignment is you need to grab a piece of paper, a couple of markers, and a ruler of choice. So this could be a tape measure, it could be a meter stick, it could be a ruler by itself. But think about what you know about measuring tools to determine length. Further consider the unit or units that would give the most precise measure of the length of your foot. So would I use a meter stick for the length of my foot? Probably not. Predict the length of your foot. Make sure you record the specific unit you're going to use. Are you going to use centimeters? Are you going to use inches, a foot, or a meter? Stand on a blank sheet of paper and mark once at the heel and once at your big toe. Measure the distance between the two marks to determine the length of the foot and record it to the closest unit. Make sure to label what unit you are using. Are you using centimeters? Are you using meters or inches or feet? What unit are you using? Find the difference between the estimation and the actual length. Find a friend and estimate the length of their foot using the same units you did with yours. So if you used inches on your feet, use inches with your friend's foot. Using the same sheet of paper but different color marker, have your friend stand on the same heel point and record the end toe point. Measure the distance and record to the closest unit. Make sure to label. Find the difference between your estimated friend's foot length and their actual foot length. Compare the difference between your actual length and your friend's actual length. Use spelling error. Use comparative language such as shorter than, longer than statements when making your sentence. Why did you decide to measure you and your friend's foot with the unit chosen? If you were going to measure a whiteboard, would you use the same tool? Why? If you're going to measure an eraser, would you use the same tool? Why? Scan and upload your foot document and work to the foot measurement Dropbox. Zeus jumped 36 centimeters on his first agility jump competition. On his second jump, he jumped 45 centimeters. How many total centimeters did Zeus jump? How many fewer centimeters did Zeus jump on his first jump than his second jump? Ruger also jumped twice. The total of Ruger's 2 jumps was 95 centimeters. How many more total centimeters did Ruger jump than Zeus? So let's see, how many total centimeters did Zeus jump? So we know that when we jump, thinking of a dog, I assume, a dog would jump up. So that's why I have my line going upward. His first jump was 36 centimeters, and his second jump was 45 centimeters. So we need to determine how many total centimeters that Zeus jumped. To do that, we can use our base 10 pieces to add these together. So we are going to combine measurement and data with numbers in base 10. So to get to the particular one I'm using, I click on our manipulatives file, and then I'm going to click on, move this over so you can see my screen. I'm going to click on virtual manipulatives, which brings us to these choices. On the right, I'm going to click the virtual one. You can click any one of them as we've seen throughout the course here. So I'll reposition this. The background I want for my work mat is our chart, and I also want base 10 blocks. Okay, so we have 36. And if you were to click any one of the math manipulatives, there are many others that you can choose. There's these base 10 blocks manipulatives itself. Within many of these, you can see quite a bit of different ones. All right, so we need 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we need to add 45. So we need to add 4 10s, 2, 3, 4, and we need to add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I see that I have 11 ones on my ones column, which means that I can exchange 10 of them for another long, so a group of 10. So I'm just going to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and exchange it for a 10. So that I see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 10s and 1 1, so 81. So 81 centimeters is what Zeus jumped. How many fewer centimeters did Zeus jump on his first jump than his second jump? How many fewer did Zeus jump on his first jump than his second jump? So I ideally want to know the difference between 36 and 45. So using the number line, we can start at 45, count back 5 units to 40, because that would be a milestone, and then 4 more backwards to arrive at 36. So we jumped back a total of 9 units. Or we could also count forward, starting at 36, jump 4 units to the milestone 40, and another 5 units to get to 45, for a total of 9 units that we jumped. So we can see that even though we're subtracting, there's 2 different ways that we can arrive at the same answer. So doesn't matter which way we did it, we still arrived at 9 centimeters. Ruger also jumped twice. The total of Ruger's 2 jumps was 95 centimeters. How many more total centimeters did Ruger jump than Zeus? So we know that Zeus jumped 81 centimeters, and we know that Ruger jumped 95 centimeters. So I put it on a number line here for us, an open number line. So with the open number line here, again using benchmarks, to get from 81 to 90, 90 being the benchmark, I need 9. And then going from 90 to 95, we need 5 more. So altogether, Ruger jumped 14 centimeters more than Zeus. One day, Frog and Toad were sitting together on a lily pad. Some lily pads were in line across the pond. In the morning, Frog hopped 3 lily pads away. In the afternoon, he hopped 2 more away. In the evening, he hopped another 2 more. Toad hopped 4 lily pads in the morning. He rested in the afternoon and continued 3 further in the evening. Frog said, "Toad, we ended up at the same place." Let's show each of their journeys and write a number sentence that reflects where they ended. So I have a number line here that actually is not an open one, but actually has the counting. So each number represents a lily pad. So on the first morning, a frog hopped 3 lily pads. So let's assume he started at 0 and we hopped 3. Then in the afternoon, he hopped 2 more. So now he's at the 5th lily pad. In the evening, he hopped another 2 more. So now he is at the 7th lily pad. Let's underneath show Toad's journey. So Toad jumped 4 in the morning. He rested in the afternoon and continued 3 more in the evening. So we see that their arrows or their jumps landed in the same place. So when we follow Frog's journey, he did 3 jumps plus 2 jumps plus 2 jumps. And that is the same as or equal to 4 jumps plus 3 jumps. After the introduction of money and the students have been able to touch, feel, and recognize the different values, students will use the notation such as, "I have $1 and 82 cents in my pocket." They have not learned the concept of the decimal point yet, so we need to keep them separate. Labeling them separately will help develop relationships among money for them. Also, the ability to develop an understanding that there are many different ways to build to a certain dollar or cent amount, just as there are with base 10 pieces. Think about the following. Can you make 47 cents using exactly 6 coins with either quarters, dimes, nickels, or pennies? So if you want to gather those coins and bring them in front of you, take a moment, pause the video, and see if you can, with just 6 coins, you can use quarters, dimes, nickels, or pennies, create 47 cents. Then come back, unpause the video, and we will see if you got the same thing I did. So using exactly 6 coins, we can use 1 quarter, 1 dime, 2 nickels, and 2 pennies. So we have 25 cents plus 10 cents, so we have 35 plus 5 plus 5 is 45, 46, and 47. Further, can you make 47 cents in 3 different ways using as many quarters, dimes, nickels, or pennies, any combination that you want? So 3 different ways. Pause the video, then we'll come back and I'll give you a few different solutions that I came up with. Okay, let's see if you have the same ones as me or perhaps something different. The 3 that I came up with was a quarter, 2 dimes, and 2 pennies. So 25, 35, 45, 46, 47. Or 4 dimes, a nickel, and 2 pennies. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 46, 47. Or 3 dimes, 3 nickels, and 2 pennies. 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47. There are many different ways that you could do this. Here is just a few of them. You probably had something different.